A few showers are trying to make it into southern Wisconsin. How far east will they get? And what's the latest on alert day conditions expected for Thursday afternoon and evening? I have the details.
Also, Madison voters making their voices heard as the city sees its largest primary turnout in some 40 years. We'll take a look at those numbers. And later, how 3 companies are helping a retired veteran with some major home repairs. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. We begin tonight with breaking news. The Madison Police Department is looking for a missing person at this hour. 62-year-old Christian Jelinek was last seen at 1:05 this afternoon. She was dropped off in the 700 block of North Midvale Boulevard but did not make it home as expected. Jelinek was last seen wearing a maroon or purple long sleeve shirt, possibly black and white striped shirt underneath and black pants. If you see her, you're asked to call the Madison Police Department at the number there at the bottom of your screen. A warm and dry day today could turn into a wet one later tonight for southern Wisconsin. Our First Warn weather team tracking stormy conditions that could last into tomorrow. Let's check your First Warn forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Eric, tracking a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms, even some showers right now, as we can see on radar 3000 over portions of southwestern Wisconsin. These showers that are over portions of southwestern Wisconsin are very likely going to dwindle as we look at future track. Notice they try to get to Madison and they start to fizzle as we move further into the evening hours. But be on the lookout. We could see a couple of raindrops yet this evening, but that is not the main show. That is not the main area of showers and thunderstorms that we are tracking for the potential of alert day conditions as we go into Thursday afternoon and particularly the evening hours. We'll have storms as early as the wee hours of Thursday morning. Those aren't expected to be severe, but the severe threat is potentially increasing for Thursday afternoon and evening. It hinges on how warm we can get Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Marginal risk of severe weather still for all of southern Wisconsin. That slight risk, Madison, and points off towards the south and towards the east. If we can get more heating on Thursday, wouldn't be surprised to see that slight risk moving further to the north across other portions or further north across the rest of southern Wisconsin. We're going to track that weather system hour by hour in just a few minutes and the severe weather threats they may bring.
All right, Alex, thank you. The voters have spoken. It is the day after the August primary. It was marked by notably high voter turnout. Our Maddie Heimsch is here with why the polls were so crowded and what it could mean moving forward. Maddie?
Yeah, Eric, turnout here in Madison was higher than it's been in the last 40 years. We saw 45% of voters cast their ballots in Dane County. UW-Madison professor Michael Wagner tells me it's a combination of circumstances. Obviously, it's a presidential election year. On top of that, here in Wisconsin, we had competitive congressional district races on the ballot, as well as those 2 constitutional amendment questions. Wagner tells me Wisconsin voters are locked in.
They are enthusiastic about this election and they see a great deal at stake. They saw that in the primary in terms of the constitutional amendments that they roundly voted down. They saw that in terms of an opportunity to vote for.
Wagner says grassroots efforts are paying off here in Madison, several groups having invested into advertising related to those amendment questions. And those questions were the only issues on statewide ballots that were nonpartisan, seen by every voter. In total, 1.2 million voters made their voices heard on those questions. The Madison City Clerk reports that there were also no problems reported with the newly reinstated absentee ballot drop boxes.
All right, Maddie, thank you. An issue on everyone's ballot, those 2 state amendments, and they won't be added to the Constitution now as voters rejected both in the primary. The Republican-backed amendments would have curtailed the governor's authority to use federal funding given to the state to deal with crises. And one of the biggest races in Dane County last night was, of course, the primary for county executive. And the top 2 candidates will move on to the November election. That would be Melissa Agard, comfortably winning with more than 57% of the vote. Dana Pellebon got the second most at 17%. The other candidates in the primary, Regina Vitiver and Wes Sparkman, brought in 15% and 10% of the votes respectively, and they will not move on. We now have the results from the 1 school district referendum that was on ballots in our area. It asked Grant and Iowa County voters whether the Riverdale School District should exceed revenue limits by $800,000 for the next 2 years and $1.2 million up through the 2030 school year to cover operational expenses. The referendum lost by just 8 votes, 491 no, 483 yes. The school district website said if the referendum failed, the district would have to make significant budget cuts. For more on last night's primary races, you can head to channel3000.com, the election page there, and there you'll find all the results from amendment questions to the referendums. Just head to channel3000.com, click on the election banner on our homepage. Well, the annual Sweet Corn Festival starts in Sun Prairie today, named one of the best food festivals in the entire Midwest. It's always held the third full weekend in August, and that's where you find our Ellie La Liberté as the parade kicks off. Ellie?
Yeah, Eric, this parade is just about to get underway here. You know, we have 75 different floats showing up here. There's cheerleaders, different local businesses. And if we go over this way, we've got some dancers over here. It's a very excited crowd today. There's a lot of energy here as we're kicking this off. Now, I might not be as good of a dancer as any of these ladies here, but, you know, after this parade here, we're going to have a block party downtown in Sun Prairie. And if you stay tuned, I will actually be talking with one of the event organizers later on in the show. But for now, reporting live in Sun Prairie, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
All right, Ellie, thank you. Next at 6, buyers, sellers, and real estate agents nationwide will be getting new guidance before any final agreements are made on transactions. And now all options have to be put on the table. The National Association of Realtors was found guilty of forcing homeowners to pay inflated commissions to sell their homes. They now have to pay over $950 million and have also agreed to policy changes. There are 2 major changes sellers, buyers, and agents need to be aware of before the final agreements are made.
So a seller in the past has offered compensation to others, and we've been able to enter that into our multiple listing service. And starting Friday, that will be removed from the multiple listing service. Sellers will still be able to offer compensation to subagents and buyer's agents.
Now, a seller or buyer can offer compensation, but most of the time it's the sellers who pay the compensation. The second change is before a buyer can see a house with a realtor, agency, or broker, they'll now have to sign a written form. There will be 3 options: a pre-agency agreement, disclosure to customers, and buyer agency. If a buyer doesn't sign, they can't see the house. Now, open houses are free. You don't need to sign anything before entering a house. If a realtor, broker, or agency does not show a customer the form, the realtor, broker, or agency will have to pay a fee if the customer is not at fault. Well, there are over 367,000 veterans who live in Wisconsin. About 17% of them live in homes with one or more major problems of quality, crowding, or cost. Today, we're meeting one military couple who enlisted help from Habitat for Humanity for a major repair, and our Meryl Hubbard is in Baraboo to tell us more.
Out in Baraboo, 3 organizations have teamed together to build a new roof for a retired U.S. veteran that served during Vietnam. Now, it's been almost 50 years since that war ended, so this is really just a way to say thank you for your service. Storm Guard, Owens Corning, and Habitat for Humanity are nailing in new improvements for one military couple.
Super sweet couple. We know they have a little bit of a need, and for being able to help them out, it's been fantastic.
Meet Thomas Beige and Bonnie Lee. They've been married for 56 years and lived in this house for almost 30 of them.
And I always kid her, I'm better in 2 wars, Vietnam and her.
Along with his sense of humor, Thomas dedicated his life to service. He served for 4 years during Vietnam, then 45 years as a Wisconsin sheriff, and then wrapped up his work at a Baraboo hospital.
That's for the worst part. You know, you had to work weekends, holidays, you know.
Yeah. So there was no weekends because he worked weekends, basically.
About 36% of veterans that live in Wisconsin served in the Vietnam War. But the war wasn't popular, and many of them didn't come home to open arms.
Back when I first got out, well, you know, you didn't want to probably say you were in the service at one time, you know. But things have changed a lot.
Plus, there are limits to resources veterans can receive from the VA. Almost 7% of Wisconsin veterans live in poverty.
There are still gaps in the services that are provided to veterans, particularly in the housing arena.
Habitat for Humanity helps around 20 to 30 veterans a year with major home improvements.
His service with the police department and through the Navy, U.S. Navy, just fantastic. Great people.
So his heart for service has just been huge in this community.
The thank yous didn't happen until recently, but Thomas says it feels good to finally feel some gratitude for his sacrifice.
How does it feel to have someone say thank you?
Oh, yeah, it's great, you know, to be recognized, you know, and stuff, rather than spit on or something, you know.
When all is said and done, by the end of the day, Tom and Bonnie will both have a brand new roof over their heads. Reporting in Baraboo, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, several area paths will soon be closed for construction. We'll tell you where and when that work will begin. Plus, the Department of Education asked the Supreme Court to lift a nationwide block on a student loan repayment plan. That story just ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Every single day, we help families that have been tragically impacted in truck crashes. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. Truck crash? Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Fjords has been crafting beautifully designed functional furniture since 1941. Every aspect of Fjords furniture has been carefully engineered to create a higher level of relaxation. Visit the Century House today and view our extensive lineup. Experience the unmatched relaxation you can only achieve in Fjords furniture. Relaxation made beautiful. Visit the Century House at 3420 University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com.
I became a nurse to make lives better. Today, that's hard to do because of the open border. I've seen firsthand the damage that Kamala Harris caused as our country's borders are. Hospitals everywhere are overwhelmed, and American patients are paying the price. My patients are covering the healthcare costs for people here illegally while their own care is jeopardized. Kamala Harris is weak and dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Get an 11% rebate from Menards. Update your home's exterior with Cedar Creek vinyl siding. This low-maintenance siding withstands the elements and is available in 16 color options, ready to install. Get an 11% rebate on Menards' unbeatable selection of roof coatings. Seal Best White Elastomeric Roof Coating restores your roof, stops leaks, and is backed by a 10-year warranty. Get a 4.75-gallon pail for just $74.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
News 3 Now brings you team coverage from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. We'll talk to delegates about the issues that matter right here in Wisconsin. Campaign 2024 DNC coverage live from Chicago, starting Monday on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, moving forward.
Time is running out to help get supplies to students before the school year starts. News 3 Now teaming up with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County for our annual back-to-school supply drive. Supplies can be donated anytime now through Friday. We're collecting backpacks, pencils, pens, lunch boxes, and other essentials needed to make sure students have a successful return to school. Just stop by any Boys and Girls Club location or News 3 Now to make a donation. The Education Department is asking the Supreme Court to lift a nationwide block of President Biden's student loan repayment plan. A federal appeals court banned implementation of the so-called SAVE plan last week. It calls for slashing monthly payments and speeding up the path to loan forgiveness. The appeals court unanimously barred the Education Department from moving forward with the SAVE plan while legal challenges play out. 7 Republican-led states have challenged that plan. The Supreme Court has asked the states to respond to the Education Department's emergency request next week. The Middleton Creek Corridor, North Mendota, and Lakeview Park asphalt paths will be temporarily closed for construction starting next week. The city says those paths need a seal coating and restriping work as well. Construction will begin on the Creek Corridor path first, followed by the North Mendota path, ensuring minimal disruption to businesses and residents by keeping traffic moving in sections. Depending on the weather, each path will be closed for 2 to 3 days until that work is finished. City said all projects should be complete before the fall season. Still had a couple of Madison companies taking home awards from this state fair. Plus, we head back to Sun Prairie. The annual Sweet Corn Festival is underway. What organizers say you can expect at this year's event. And rain and stormy conditions move into southern Wisconsin tomorrow. Alex with a look at the radar, his complete forecast when we come back.
Nobody wants to put a new roof over their head. It's too expensive. And if they can extend the life of that roof and get 5 more years or 10 more years, it's a no-brainer.
What RoofMax does is it helps people in that they don't have to spend that $15,000, $20,000 on a new roof. They can spend pennies on the dollar.
The RoofMax product was a small percentage of cost of replacing a roof.
This is a great financial decision for us as a community.
TDS Fiber Internet makes our home smarter. Working, playing, living, learning. It's all better with TDS Fiber Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's award-winning internet served up by friendly local folks. It's what keeps us connected. And isn't that what it's all about? Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS.
Baraboo Furniture and Mattress is celebrating Wisconsin's hot summer months with a huge hot summer sale. Save from 20 to 60% off every item store-wide. Over $1 million of quality name brands on display in our beautiful new showroom, including Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, England, Ashley, Spring Air, Amish Furniture, and much more, all on sale. Get special free financing, all credit welcome. Hurry in today to the huge store-wide hot summer sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, where your satisfaction is our guarantee.
She grew up in a middle-class home. She was the daughter of a working mom, and she worked at McDonald's while she got her degree. Kamala Harris knows what it's like to be middle class. It's why she's determined to lower healthcare costs and make housing more affordable. Donald Trump has no plan to help the middle class, just more tax cuts for billionaires. Being president is about who you fight for, and she's fighting for people like you.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic. Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else. Ironic. Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less. That's ironic. Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back, and we head back to Sun Prairie now as the parade for the Sweet Corn Festival is underway. Our Ellie LaLiberte joins us now. And Ellie, what's the energy like out there?
Yeah, Eric, it's pretty exciting out here. You can hear the music around me. We saw some dancers earlier, but now I want to bring in Barbara Beeling, who's one of the event organizers. So can you tell us a little bit about what's going on here today?
Yeah, so at this point, we've got the parade has started. It's going to be great, 70 units. And then we have a block party with a live band tonight that runs from about 7 to 9:30. We've got a little beer tent set up. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
So for the folks that can't make it tonight, what can they see, you know, coming out the rest of the weekend here?
Yep, so tomorrow night it is a Carnival Midway, a wristband night, so $30, all the rides you can do. Friday night we start with Super Tuesday, a great band. The beer tent is open, the food vendors are open, and that'll be a great time. And then Saturday and Sunday, the corn comes at noon, and then we will have more music, more food, the food vendors, and I'm trying to wave the floats on so they can get going here. And then, of course, we've got the racing on Sunday night, which is fantastic. So it's a full weekend of great entertainment, and the place to be this weekend is Sun Prairie.
Well, you know, this is my first corn festival here. What's one thing I need to do, check out, taste before I go?
You got to get to the super sweet corn on Saturday and Sunday. We've got 80 tons of it still growing in the fields at this moment. It will be picked on Saturday morning, hauled in, and it really is an amazing treat for all your senses.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. And the parade is getting going now behind us, as you can see, but I'll send it back to you guys. For now, reporting live in Sun Prairie, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
All right, Ellie, thank you. Some Madison companies won big at this year's State Fair Grand Champion Eats and Treats competition. Dash Alito's Hot Sauces and Spicy Foods in Madison won big, claiming the overall title of Best of Something Special from Wisconsin. Both its Sweet Heat Hot Sauce and Underflow Chow Chow received first place in the Lip-Smacking Sauces and Relishing Relishes and Radiant Rubs categories. Never had to say that before. Meanwhile, Madison's Mojo's Magic took fourth place in the Lip-Smacking Sauces category, which DadCap said was recognized for its sweet and sassy sauce. I'm going to let Alex Harrington do talking for the rest of this show. The weather going to hold up for that Sweet Corn Festival, Alex, I hope.
Yeah, I think so. There's a couple showers off to the west, but those showers are being eaten up this evening. So Sun Prairie, I think you're going to get your festival in this evening. We could see a couple of drops as this area of showers over southwestern Wisconsin tries to move to the east. Future tracks showing the dry air that we have at various levels of the atmosphere eating up those showers. So just a few drops are expected expected. We're not expecting heavy rain. We're not expecting any thunderstorms for a while, but that is absolutely going to change. Planning your evening, southern Wisconsin. Few drops at 8 and 10 o'clock. Again, sprinkles, maybe a light shower, then a break, but heavier rain is going to be on the way as we approach daybreak on Thursday. Moving forward, with the Sweet Corn Festival in Sun Prairie and all of southern Wisconsin. Beautiful Saturday, beautiful Sunday, just a tiny chance of a storm on Saturday. Now let's turn our attention to the alert day conditions we've been tracking for a few days. Thursday afternoon, and really it's Thursday evening that has my greatest level of concern. Slight risk of severe thunderstorms south of Madison, the rest of southern Wisconsin, marginal risk. Not going to be surprised to see this risk lift to the north if we can get enough heating. I have been stressing that for days now. That is an important ingredient for severe weather. You've got to clear out the shower and thunderstorm activity that we'll have Thursday morning. At least enough, at least a couple of hours, noon going on into the early afternoon hours is a good guide. And if that occurs with breaks in the skies, the temperatures warm up into the upper 70s, maybe lower 80s. The humidity is really going to increase too. And there we see the pop-up of those thunderstorms 4 or 5 o'clock. These could be rotating supercell thunderstorms that promote large hail, damaging winds, and maybe an isolated tornado or two, a few clusters carrying on into Thursday evening down towards Monroe and Janesville, although we all stand the chance of seeing the thunderstorm activity. Greatest threat of thunderstorms is going to be strong winds. We can't rule out a little bit of hail, and there could be a couple of tornadoes if the environment, again, heats up enough for us to have those thunderstorms. What's the bottom line here? A lot of information. You need that clearing. If we get the clearing, we can provide that heat for thunderstorm activity to rev back up. There's also a possibility we may have what's called a cap on Thursday. That might be a new term for you. It's a warm layer of air a little higher up in the sky, and it puts a lid on the atmosphere. What you need is the heat to get through that lid to allow the thunderstorms to pop up, and if that can occur, again, heating's so important, then we have the alert day conditions develop Thursday afternoon and evening. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. Behind that weather system, breezy on Friday, could see a late day shower and thunderstorm, but many areas will stay dry on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, low rain chances Saturday. Going out into next week, we're going to be on the north side of some pretty intense heat in the Midwest. We'll be on the cooler, refreshing side of things, but we can't rule out an isolated shower thunderstorm next week being on the north side of that immense heat. But again, all attention Thursday afternoon and evening for the potential for alert day conditions.
And coming up in sports, hello, Mr. Starter. Why Wisconsin tapped Tyler Van Dyke, their starting QB for the upcoming season. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom.
My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rates.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of mountain and fat bicycles from Moots, Giant, Felt, and Trek. Trek has an awesome lineup of cross-country trail, fat, and plus bicycles, great for single-track racing or shredding up some gnarly trails. The place to shop for the world's most beautiful bicycles is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world. Service is included with your Machinery Row bicycle. So many fun things to look at and bicycles to test ride on the bicycle path by the lake at Machinery Row Bicycles.
One size rarely fits all. That's why at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we carry a huge selection of quality name brand jeans and pants. We're so confident we have the right brand, style, and fit for you that we'll give you a free $5 Blaine's Farm and Fleet gift card for every pair you buy. Like men's or women's Ariat jeans. Get an extra $30 gift card for every $150 Ariat purchase. And men's Rustler jeans, just $15.99. Find your perfect pair of jeans for less at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Kamala Harris has taken on gang members to get justice for victims, taken on big banks to pay back people they ripped off, taken on drug companies to cap insulin at 35 bucks. Now she's running to take on greedy corporations who jack up prices to lower everyday costs for working families. They're spending millions on ads attacking her because she'd be a president who fights for you. FF PAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Winning at Ho-Chunk Gaming just got bigger, like mega bigger. When you win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, you're automatically entered into our Mega Jackpot Winners quarterly drawings with a grand prize drawing on October 26th to win a new Dodge Ram 2500 Laramie and a chance for $100,000 in cash. Jackpot weekly drawings are going on now. Mondays, 10 winners, $500 in rewards play. Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Oh, they said this question was coming. Yes, we have named Tyler Van Dyke our starter.
And that's how the news broke to the outside world. Tyler Van Dyke is officially QB1 for Wisconsin. Now, he found out on Sunday in Platteville. And if you were paying attention, the last couple of practices, TVD started to separate himself from Braden Locke. And after earning the job, you can sense a little relief from the Miami transfer. But he also knows the job's not done. Now it's time to prove he's the guy that can take the Badgers to the next level.
Yeah, it means a lot. It means the coaches believe in me. It means the players believe in me, and I'm just glad they gave me this opportunity to, get some revenge for myself and bring some greatness to Wisconsin. The decision-making part of it is good. The big arm is really a bonus for us, and his mobility is a bonus. So the three things you would hope to have in a quarterback we have right now.
Well, speaking of TVD, Wisconsin's newly named starter was named to the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award watch list, which is given to the top college quarterback. Van Dyke threw for 2,703 yards and 19 touchdowns. What you're seeing right there is the Stanley Cup. That made its way around Milwaukee because the GM of the Florida Panthers, Bill Zito, it was his day with the Cup. He's a Wisconsin native and went to high school at the University School of Milwaukee, so of course the Cup had to make a stop at his old stomping grounds. Lord Stanley also visited Pfizer Forum and Field. And the Madison Mallards are 2 wins away from the Northwoods League Championship after winning their best-of-3 series against the Chucks last night. Tonight, they're facing the Kalamazoo Growlers for the Great Lakes Championship. If they win that, they'll advance to Thursday's NWL Championship game, and that game is already underway. We'll have highlights tonight at 10.
I feel like they keep having more games they got to win to get a championship. Yeah, those guys got to go back to school soon.
Yeah, soon. So two games left. Win them, go home champs.
We'll keep an eye on them. And final check of the forecast.
Few showers out over southwest Wisconsin right now, Eric, in southern Wisconsin. A lot of those showers are going to dwindle as they move off towards these, but can't rule out a few sprinkles, maybe a light shower this evening. Much better chances for showers and thunderstorms Thursday morning. We get a break. If we get that break, Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, we could be looking at severe weather across all of southern Wisconsin. So stay tuned. More information tonight at 10, and we'll have updates tomorrow as well.
All right, Alex, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tonight for News 3 Now at 10.